So you've got a great idea for a song, but how do you start writing it? Hi, I am back. I'm Emma Mae. I am a singer-songwriter, and this is the second episode in my series about songwriting. First off, thanks to Orcs for having me in this series. Make sure you go check out what they're all about, especially if you're someone who deals in audio and wants to step up the way you collaborate. Let's get on with it. So, you may remember from the last video that we have our themes, we have our lyric ideas, and we have the general stylistic framework in which to slap them into. So now it's time to actually write the thing. So basically, I write on an acoustic guitar because I have done since I was 11. But obviously everyone writes differently. You may sit down with a piano, or you may not even need an instrument because you're some kind of musical prodigy. So generally, I start with chords. Generally, I just sort of play around until something sounds nice and then see where these lyrics and melody ideas can sort of fit into it. So, progressions. I don't think certain progressions sound better than others. I think it's just sort of whatever you fancy in the moment. Obviously, there's the whole major and minor thing, but we're not going to go into that because this is not music theory. This is writing a song, which actually requires very little music theory, so yay. What we're going to do is I'm going to pick one that I haven't used in a while. Let's come up with something and sort of, that works. See what sounds half decent. So yeah, in terms of coherent thought about chords, there is none. It'll be fine. You can make anything work if you try hard enough. I'm going to start with the chorus because we've already decided what the song's going to be called. It's going to be called All My Boyfriends Leave the Country. If you don't know why, go back and watch the other video.
Do you always tend to start with the chorus?
Not always. I actually think I very rarely start with the chorus. I don't really know why I did this time. I just think I had such a clear idea of what I wanted the chorus to be. I genuinely normally start with the verse because it's first.
I guess you're also telling a story, so
yeah,
it makes sense
exactly.
to
start at the start, yeah. So, let's try and write a chorus. Nope. Yep. Cool, so sort of just like trying to make it sound a bit bouncy and get that cheekiness in there. Cheekiness. Just sort of making up some crap. See what happens. Now it's time to go back to your lyric ideas. So, what have we got? We've got boyfriends leaving the country, being cheated on. I'm getting rid of the cats. We're not going to talk about the cat. The cat is not important. We're Taylor Swiftifying it. All my boyfriends leave the country or cheat on me or get sick of the ways I turn them into stories and then sing about them on all those little stages. What comes next? That's a very good question. There needs to be another half to the chorus. Guess I haven't quite found the one yet. Someone nice and tall and perfect who doesn't treat me like I'm a reject and then move in with this girlfriend. That works. Cool. Next you write it down so you don't forget what you've done. And then move in with this girlfriend. To find someone like that guy. And then there'll be a verse here, which we have not written yet. You may have seen how I've arrived at this conclusion if you have watched the last video, but we've got the themes all in the chorus. We've got the boyfriends. We've got the being cheated on. We've got the secret girlfriend. The only thing we haven't got is the cat, but that's fine. We've got the themes. We've got the lyrics. we've got a melody, and now we just sort of need to make a verse, I guess. So as I move on to the verse, I'm going to talk a little bit about rhymes, because one of the biggest questions I get about songwriting is, how do you find things that rhyme? And I'm just like, well, you don't. So honestly, if it rhymes, great. If it doesn't, it's not important. What have I just done? I've just rhymed country with cheat on me. That doesn't rhyme, but you didn't notice, did you? So everything's fine. Near rhymes are always good. Obviously there's the songwriting theory behind it. So you can A-B it, or A-A-B-B it, or whatever, or just don't, you know? It doesn't matter. Let's demonstrate my thoughts on rhyming in a verse. As I said in the last video, I'm trying to tell a story here, and I'm trying to tell it from start to finish. So let's start at the start. How did I meet this man? That's an important question. Okay, I remember. Wow, that was a really long time ago. Okay, right. Are we gonna use the same chords as the chorus? Yes, we are. Everything is fine. Oh look, it's a different chord. Variation, guys. I just rhymed till now with hotel, so.
It doesn't matter.
Talking about burgers in a song? Bet Taylor Swift never did that. Okay, bridge. Well, pre-chorus.
What is your general approach to a pre-chorus? Do you tend to do a certain thing with chords, or what's your approach?
Yeah, so I tend to sort of just leave it on a imperfect cadence, usually. There you go, there's some music theory for you. It depends how long my verse is, so this is a double verse. So if it's quite a long verse, I won't do a whole pre-chorus, it will just be 2 lines. If it's a fairly short verse and it's a bit meh, then I'll try and come up with a really good catchy pre-chorus. I thank God that I turned back for him. I thought he could have been the one. That is the right chord, or it should be. That's where I use that chord. And so we've done the verse. So we were doing a whole telling the story, building up, and then bam, he left me for Germany. So that's what we've done. And this is what I've got so far. I met him in October at a festival I forgot I played till now. He walked past me on his phone, was on the way to my hotel. I never thought much of it, so I realized that I wanted it. We went for burgers, drinking God knows what, somewhere I'd never been. Explored the South Bank, taking pictures of Trafalgar Square and me. Then on the district line, we shared a kiss goodbye. And I thank God that I turned back for him. I thought he could have been the one, but boy, how I was wrong. Guess I should have known better, 'cause all my boyfriends leave the country or cheat. Okay, yeah, that's where we're at. That's where we are. Telling the story from the start. The details, these details are far too much, but little details, they set you apart from everyone else. So actually talk about little specific things that no one else has said. No one said burgers in a song before, not like that. I mean, someone probably has, but.
I am your burger man.
I'm not gonna write any more now. What I'm gonna do instead is talk about how dirty my guitar is. Oh my gosh. Let's talk about how you start a song, because obviously I'm just sat here writing. And you're probably maybe how, Emma, how? I can't seem to start, it's really difficult. Some people struggle with getting started. Like I said, there's a bunch of different ways to get over writer's block. Go for a walk, that always helps me. Not always, but sometimes it does. Go and talk about what you see instead of how you feel, and it tends to help. People struggle with varying their lyrics as well. So saying things like, I love you, you love me. Obviously not the Barney song, but stuff like that. My point is it's difficult to start. So here's a few methods that you can try to help you get started and help you write some varied, coherent, non-tenor penny lyrics. I can't take credit for any of these, I just know they exist. Yes, method one is, I actually can't remember what it's called, it does have a name, so feel free to like tell me what it's called. But what you basically do is when you're writing a section, you alternate lines between writing one that's like inward and then one that's like outward. So say line one is like an inward line, it's about how you feel, and then line two is about something like external to you, what you see or what's going on around you. Do it however you want, but try and alternate the lines. It happens like sort of subconsciously for a lot of people, but if you're struggling, it's a good way to start because it narrows things down. That is method one. Method two is playing on the little details. So things that seem insignificant but actually make a moment, they sound really good in songs. There is a line. Like I feel like my whole burger thing is like, you know, that might be slightly over the line, but because it's a bit cringe. Some things are just a bit cringe.
I am your burger man.
The little details, basically, instead of cliches. That's my point. That's method two. Third one is, well, it's just a jumble of words, pretty much. I mean, literally, there's a few like wacky techniques that you can try. David Bowie used to like cut up a newspaper and then like rearrange the words that he cut up into phrases and write songs based on that, which I have tried once and it really didn't go well because the news is really depressing, but that's not my point. You can try it with, I don't know, like cut up your last essay. That'd be satisfying. And there's some ways to get started.
You mentioned you don't need to have music theory knowledge to write a song. What background do you have in music theory? My background is, I did like GCSE music, I did A-level music, but I never did any grades or anything. As long as you have a good sense of what words work, you can speak a language and write, then you'll be okay. Anyone can come up with a melody. You don't need to understand what the melody is to come up with it. There's something I don't know, I read ages ago. A song is never finished, it's knowing when to stop. So that's it for the writing process of this video. We'll come back next time and make it sound better than it does on this thing. So, to recap, 1, just like give it a go with the methods that I mentioned. If you can't start writing, just go back, watch this again, and try one of those crazy ideas and you might get something good. 2, don't obsess over rhymes too much because anything can rhyme with anything if you try hard enough. And 3, the little details that you think aren't that significant, but the details that make a moment, just put them in there because, you know, Ed Sheeran does it. Thank you again for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think. Make sure you go check out all the other videos in this series and all the other videos on the Aux channel. Head to aux.app for more information on what they're all about, and don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.